Mr. Brickman.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I wasn't sure if you know who I was. But
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Can we talk for a few minutes? I'm sorry.
No, we totally can. Let's get
into shape.
Yeah.
By all means, go. Yeah.
Okay, I'm live right now. You don't mind?
No, I don't mind at all.
Okay, so first of all, everybody, we got the Brickman. Does the world know your real name?
Yeah, you know, I'm an official delegate from California, so it's a matter of record. My name is Blake. I live in San Diego, California.
Sorry, you live in San Diego, California?
San Diego, California.
On purpose?
Well, you know, it's my parents still live there, and I was lucky enough when Obama crashed the economy.
It's not San Francisco, so I got confused. But San Diego's
That's
not
right.
as bad.
You're from America's Hat, right?
I'm from the what do they call it? The Arctic Gulag, the Maple Gulag, the Iron.
Yes,
iron
exactly.
Sorry, no, San Diego. I was there. My wife has a neurophysiology conference there.
Yeah, no, it is totally not like San Francisco, not like Sacramento, not like West Hollywood.
A lot of homelessness, but not law.
Gavin Newsom has ruined our state. He really has. He's allowed our state to fall into complete disarray. It's not just homelessness. It's lax laws on actually prosecuting crime. We have super high energy rates and gas rates, and that trickles down to all sectors of the economy. We have a homeless crisis, and at the same time, we have environmental restrictions that prevent the building of new homes. So it's totally...
It's just a disaster. It's like almost a planned disaster.
It is. And then it's just...
But so, I mean, I appreciate you have family there, you don't want to live there, you got your roots, and have you ever thought about bailing and going?
I was planning on leaving, but then, you know, the economy crashed under Obama and that whole real estate bubble popped, and I was able to find a house there that I thought was a beautiful home that I could stay in, and then I locked it in.
And I'm sure in as much as it's appreciated in value, the reality is you either have to sell that and then move to a place where property value is.
I would not even think, I mean, the only people that would be thinking about moving right now from California, the people that absolutely have to, I mean, the costs of like getting out of your old mortgage, which if you had it from back then, you probably refinanced it down as low as I have to go into a new one to pay all the crazy closing costs.
What is it?
It's insane.
6.5%? I
don't even know what it is right now because I don't worry about it. I'm in my sub-3 loan and I don't even look at what the current rates are. I'm not moving. I don't care.
Hold on. Let's switch sides like this. I think I can get a longer reach. Okay. Now, the chat was saying you were at the event on Saturday.
That's correct. I was in the front row.
Do you mind talking about it?
No, it's fine.
Okay. You have to just tell everybody. Okay, let me get this like this. I'm firmly of the opinion this was a setup for a graphic public execution. That there's no other way to explain this. You saw the layout. I mean, you were there. You saw where the shots.
Let me start with what do you mean by a setup?
That this was.
Are you saying more than the work of one person?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that it can't be chalked up to incompetence to leave an elevated.
I think it can be.
I mean, that's monumental, and
right.
that I agree. Like that's where you get into assessing intentions versus just assessing fact.
Sure.
Fact is, it was unsupervised, unmanned, and unsupervised.
Correct. And if you apply Occam's razor to that scenario, the thing that I think is the most logical explanation is there's a breakdown in communication or a breakdown in assignments and a lack of, because certainly people were calling 911 saying there's gunmen there.
Yeah.
And there was not, the response time was bad. And I don't know that from firsthand experience. That's the articles I've read.
Yeah.
So, so ascribing something that's more complicated than just human error at this point, I don't think is unwarranted. At the same time, I recognize that type of theory cannot be completely discounted. All right. So I'm not saying it's impossible. That is, I just feel the probability of it is much lower.
Yeah, I mean it's the distinction between catastrophic intelligence failure versus gross negligence or we wanted this to happen. It's just a question of interpretation of the same facts. But now your front row, there was a crowd behind Trump. There's a crowd in front of Trump.
Right.
So the crowd behind are in bleachers, and you're in the front row in front of Trump.
Correct.
You were not aware of the people calling the police on the back. You weren't aware of that guy on the roof.
No, because that's way outside the venue. I'm not aware of that at all.
Okay, and you are not aware of it until you hear shots fired.
Right. So I'll look at the camera now, and that would be as I'm looking at President Trump. And there's the bleachers behind him. I'm about 10 yards from the podium. The podium floor level is about this high, so I'm looking up at him. Because he has to be higher so the press cameras don't get obscured by people holding up signs. They just do that for sight lines to the press. That's why they have an elevated stage. So not only are there bleachers directly behind the president, but if you look obliquely to the left and obliquely to the right behind him, there's another set of bleachers on either side. And above those are jumbotrons, and they use those to display imagery. So the president at that time was introducing a slide that showed the comparison of illegal immigration under Joe Biden compared to the Trump years, and showing the insane rise in the numbers. And my attention was focused on the jumbotron to the left. So the president would have been here in this sight line, but I'm looking off to the left. I hear the first set of noises, and I localize them as coming from even further to my left. So I turned towards them, thinking it was a prank, thinking it was just a bad joke.
You hear a pop.
Several pops.
Okay, you hear
loud,
pop,
sharp cracks.
and fizzing. Do you hear the bullet
No.
fizzing through the air?
No.
Okay.
No, not
So
just cracks.
And they're cracks, and it's not like, I mean, I've fired a shotgun, I've not fired a handgun, but it's not like a
No.
and it echoes through that. It's like a pop.
No, they were very sharp, brief cracks. With, not an extended report.
And how many, give or take?
3 to 5.
3 to 5.
And then I'm thinking it's like a practical joke, or something going on, a prank in the audience next to me. And so I turn there, and I'm looking for some form of disturbance in the audience that's like adjacent to me, that would make that it come from right there. I didn't see anything. So at that point, I turned back and I looked towards the president on the podium, and I'm just catching the tail end of the Secret Service jumping on top of him to protect him. Now, from that point, that's when another series of shots rings out, and now I'm putting 2 and 2 together.
The other series was the guy firing on the crowd, and or
I don't know which it was, but there was a distinct second set of gunfire. Okay, so given the Secret Service's reaction and another set of cracks, of noises, which we now know to be gunfire, I thought, well, this is real. And it was at that point that people were saying, other people were coming to that same conclusion, saying, get down, everybody get down. And I stood standing up for a little bit because I was more concerned with the safety of the president. I then did kneel down, but still continued to, I just got a little lower and continued to watch as best I could see, how the president was doing. I could not see him; he was completely obscured by the podium. Now, normally I wasn't filming any of this either. Normally I might film the president when he walks out, when they play, his entrance music and he waves to the crowd and stuff like that. I might film that aspect of the rally. But once the president is speaking and I'm in the front row, I just put my camera away. Now, at that time, I did take it out and thinking, well, I should really probably take some pictures here. And, I started filming, and then I heard them saying, shoot her down and let's get ready to move him. And I stood up because at that point, I didn't think there was any more danger to myself. And I'm still, again, I'm more concerned with the safety of the president. And they're starting, so let's get ready to move him. There's a count, and I don't know how they're going to be moving him out. Are they going to be carrying him out?
You don't know his condition.
No, because we can't see anything. Right. So it could be like, I'm thinking it's going to be like a man carry. Is he incapacitated? Can he leave on his own power? Nobody. I didn't know. The people in the back, they could probably see more than I could because they didn't have the podium in front. But then shortly after that, as I'm running through all those horrible worst case scenarios in my mind, he stands up, and I'm close enough. I can see the blood in his ear. I can tell it's not coming from like in his ear, so I know that. So it could just be a cut. And then before I can really even, that's good is what I'm thinking. And before I can even go anything more with that, I can see his face. I can see the fire in his face. I can see the defiance in his gaze and his gesture to the crowd to just to fight on, to put that fist up like that. I couldn't tell exactly what he was saying, but you could tell the tenor, what he was doing from that gesture. And that made me feel a lot better that it was not going to be a worst case scenario. And I thought that part of the reason he did that too was just to assure he was all right. If the Secret Service had just taken him off the stage without him being able to show the crowd that he was doing well, then there'd be all the speculation that the worst had happened.
So, and by the way, just back up so that the camera doesn't get overheated in the sun.
Okay.
So he gets up. You are at the same vantage point as that iconic photograph when he raises his fist under the flag, give or take.
He's that photograph was taken, like at that point, I'm looking at that photograph was taken from a position that's probably 15 yards to my right and inside the fence. Like that was taken by photographers inside the perimeter of the stage. Yeah, so they were a little bit closer.
They start chanting USA, USA.
Yeah.
Is this, I mean, first of all, nobody knows how close it was at
Nobody
that time.
knows. Really people don't even know. I'm sure that the bulk of people don't even know that he'd been hit by a bullet.
I mean, was he
only
hit in the bulletproof vest?
Not that I've seen that.
Okay, that was one of the pictures. But like, people don't know that some people were saying it might have been blast from a teleprompter the day of.
Right.
So in the crowd yet, they don't know that there's a deceased.
Yeah. No, they don't know that. And if they're far, I mean, look, I'm in the front row, so I can see the blood in his ear. If you were in the back row, or like 20 rows back, you don't even know. So all you're hearing is noise, commotion, Secret Service taking him off the stage. He's okay. You don't even know he's injured at that point. So I would say, most people probably didn't even know that he had an injury at that point.
And then what happens in terms of like wrapping it up and everybody? When do they tell you that it's time to go? When do you find out someone else died?
So they get the president out of the immediate area, and that time I'm starting to like talk with other people and see what's going on. And at that point, I noticed that I did not see anybody injured in the bleachers, but I saw people, just body language, you could tell they were attending to somebody who was injured in the bleachers. No idea if that was somebody who jumped down and broke a leg or something, but it looked really serious. So, in that case, I was hoping it wouldn't be someone struck by gunfire. Unfortunately, 3 of them were, and 1 of them was fatally injured. And I understand that man is a hero.
It's shielding his wife and his family. Where, in respect of Trump, were they? Because the question that I'm asking is, did the shooter say, I failed, or I think I've succeeded, now I'm just going to open fire on the crowd? Were they behind in the line of fire, or was it?
I haven't seen that yet, and my feeling is that when they do the ballistics, they'll find that they were just like an errant shot aimed at the president at them. I don't believe that it was like, I've got the president, now I'm just going to fire.
Or I got, or I didn't, and now it's over, and it's only a matter of time to turn on the crowd.
Yeah, I don't think it was that.
How are you doing psychologically? This is all. It's wild. It's surreal for everybody in the real world.
I'll be honest. I'm not 100%. I'm getting there, but coming here and starting this convention is helping a lot. Because if I just had to go home to work and go back the next day, that would have been tough. But being able to be here and talk with people about Donald Trump going forward and how he's going to help bring our country back into the direction it needs to go, it's just a big help.
Are you a religious person? Faith?
No, I don't really talk about that much. Everybody has their own faith or their own connection to faith, and I'm just not comfortable talking about it.
No, fair enough. I'm just I'm not a particularly religious person, but it's a miracle in as much as there can be a miracle. I mean,
you can look at how he turned his head just slightly at the very last moment.
It's
not even an inch. Not even an inch. A half inch. If he hadn't turned his head, his ear doesn't get hit. So it's just a lot of coincidences there. I'm not saying they're coincidences.
Now, how long are you down here for?
The whole week.
And what do you do? So the plan is you attend the speakers conference. I've never been to one of these things.
Well,
so there's events, there's speakers.
Yeah, and
I'm
actually an official delegate from California, so I'm down on the floor in the big show.
Amazing.
So I'm right there, and
everybody's asking you this. This is obviously custom made.
No, it's not. It's off the rack.
With the tie comes with it.
The tie comes with it. Yeah. Yeah, there's even a label. So
they're going to get some standout. That's amazing.
Yeah, they don't make them anymore. So but it is off the rack.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I don't know if I'll sleep well. I'm going to stay alive. I'm going to go walk around. But
okay. So for those of you who don't know where I'm at, I'm on Twitter at brick_suit. So very, very easy to remember. brick_suit. That's where you'll find my account, and I'll be posting stuff from the floor this week as much as possible. And everybody take care out there and be well.
This is the mood here is healing, conciliatory, unifying, and absolutely glorious. So
I would agree.
It's a good place to be.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
All right. Take care.
I'll see you soon.
All right, guys.
Thank you.